Welcome back to BuyBavard.com TV. This is your host, Andrew Gall, and joining me today is David Volk from Volk Law Offices. David, thanks for being here with us today.
Thanks for having me, Andrew.
It's our pleasure. We're glad to have you here. Volk Law Offices, a great law firm here in the Brevard County. How long have you been here in the county with us?
We've been in business for about 15 years.
15 years here locally, great. And you've got a pretty extensive team, right? How many people are on your team?
We have 14 people.
14 folks, and those are all folks practicing law, or that's your support team as well?
We have 6 attorneys, and the rest is legal assistance and support.
Sure. Now, David, a lot of people think lawyers and, they automatically have visions of, the courtroom and litigation, those kind of things. But Volk Law is a commercial law firm, correct?
Correct.
And what are your primary areas of focus?
We help people with money and property problems and opportunities. It is a litigation practice. Mm-hmm. That's the main part of our practice. We help people, as I say, with money and property problems and opportunities. Lawsuits dealing with contracts, real estate, employment disputes,
sure.
Foreclosures, of course, that's a hot topic right now, unfortunately. We help people with that sort of stuff. Anytime people are fighting about money or property, we're there to help.
That's great. Now, when people get into business for themselves, often, having to think about legal troubles is not something people want to consider. But talk to our viewers about why it's important for business people to find a good attorney who can help them work through the different issues they're going to have.
It's critically important, and you don't want to wait until you're involved in a lawsuit or a threatened lawsuit to get an attorney to advise you on how to run your business. Mm-hmm. Everybody should have a talented accountant or bookkeeper helping them. Everybody should have an attorney available that they can go to with a problem or advice on how to run their business better.
Sure. What kind of things should people be looking for as they look for the legal guidance that's going to be right for their business? What kind of qualifications should they be looking for?
Experience counts. Ask the attorney, what experience do you have in this particular area? People are competitive for business these days. You want somebody that has the experience in the area you need work done in. Yeah. So don't be bashful. Don't assume that all attorneys are generalists and that they can do everything.
Right.
They aren't, and they can't. For somebody to be a generalist as an attorney would be virtually impossible. The law is so broad and so complex. Virtually all attorneys are going to be in a focused area, specialized area. Find out what their experience is.
Sure. Now, experience, that's an important word, and experience is something that's really important to Volk Law Offices. Talk to me about the experience that your team brings to the table.
We have board-certified attorneys in business litigation, real estate, and bankruptcy. And to be certified, you've got to go through an extensive process. It's essentially peer review and testing. You have to have a certain level of experience in the area in which you're certified. Very few attorneys are board certified. It might be around 3% of all lawyers in Florida. So if you see that designation, that means something. They've worked hard, they've got experience. They're probably going to be able to do a pretty good job helping you.
Sure. Why has it been important to you for your law firm to make sure that you had people who were board certified on your team?
Because we set high standards. I think anybody that has to employ an attorney to have work done, it's going to be an expensive proposition. Mm-hmm. So you want somebody that has credentials. Not everybody in our firm's board certified, but we have enough of that high level of expertise that those that are certified can share their experience with others.
You mentioned it being an expensive proposition. A lot of times when business owners think about involving legal aid in their business, that's the first thing that comes to mind. Oh my word, that's going to cost a lot of money. Help us understand why using a law firm that understands and has the experience to go the distance can actually help save them money in the long run.
Oh, it's unbelievable. I can help you, if you're running a business, reduce the chances that you'll go out of business. And it's by what I call legal risk management. Just like you buy insurance in case of a bad event happening, you can do things in running your business that reduce the risk of the impact of that bad event happening on you.
Sure.
One of the things that you can do is what's called a non-compete agreement, so that one of your employees doesn't try and steal your business that you spent 25 or 30 years building up.
Yeah,
and this is a grave threat to every business.
definitely.
Their key employee develops close relationships with the customers, and then they move across the street and open shop and divert your business. Times are so tough right now for businesses. Losing even a small part of your customer base could kill you financially.
No, it's so true. What is the right time for a business owner to secure legal help for the future?
From day one, you need to decide how are you going to set up your entity. If you're going to go into business, you have to make a choice. You generally don't want to operate as a sole proprietorship. You want to operate as a corporation or a limited liability company so that you're not personally liable for the debts of the company.
Sure.
If the company fails, and many companies fail, you want to manage that risk by making sure that you've created that corporation or that limited liability company so that you're not on the hook for all the company's debts.
Sure. And we were talking a few minutes before about just how important it is to make sure that you're managing those things and make sure that you've taken care of that stuff ahead of time. And Volk Law Offices is unique in that you work cradle to grave with businesses and you take people through the entire process. Isn't that true?
Sure. We can do the startup. We can help them with things like the non-compete agreement or the customer agreement. Here's another important attribute that everybody should have. If you're going to extend credit to customers, you should have a good customer agreement. It can be a short paragraph, and it can dramatically increase your chances of getting paid by your customers.
Sure.
Just simple wording that is critically important. If somebody comes to see me for a problem, first thing I'm going to say is, what do you have in writing? What's your agreement look like? Oh, there's no customer agreement? Uh-oh.
Yeah, then
We're
you're
going to
in
have
trouble.
trouble recovering the attorney's fees if we have to sue to collect the money.
Yeah. Now, David, there's a lot of different choices out there in the marketplace for a business person and a lot to consider. Why should people come talk to Volk Law Offices?
I think it's the quality of our people and the quality of our systems and the quality of our technology.
Sure.
Let's move backwards. We try and take care of the technology. I want everybody to have fast computers with great monitors so they're easier to work with. They have to function fast, switching between programs, for instance. It can take time or it can be instantaneous. We have a networked system so that everybody is working from the same legal forms within the firm. It's not a collection of 6 sole practitioners. It's an integrated practice so that I know whoever's drafting a motion to dismiss, for instance, in a lawsuit or drafting a complaint is going to be working from the foundation that I drafted in most of the cases.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping it's going to be a pretty good document regardless of who drafts it.
And that way everybody's on the same page. And that's great that you've taken the steps even in the little things, making sure the computers are fast and the monitors are good quality to make sure that at the end of the day when you're working on the life or death of somebody's company, the little things are in place to make sure that the product in the end is good.
Absolutely. That old saying, for want of a nail, and you work all the way up and you lose the war
Yeah.
for want of a nail. Being efficient is also a way to try and deliver a legal product to someone at a lower price.
Yeah.
Our goal is better, cheaper, and faster.
Sure.
Better, cheaper, and faster. Try to give the client as much bang for the buck as you can. With every case that we start, for instance, the client's going to get a document called What Happens in a Lawsuit, so that they're going to know the process. They're not going to have to wonder, why is this taking so long? And most of them think that.
Sure.
If you can explain things to clients, it puts their mind at ease. They don't have to call you up 50 times during the case to ask what's going on, what's going to happen.
David, where can people find your office?
We're on Babcock Street between the airport and Hooters.
Okay, great. And if they want to get in touch with you by phone, what's the phone number?
726-8338.
Great. And you can find them on the web, as always, on bybrevard.com. You can search for law or attorneys, and you'll be able to find Volk Law Offices. They're listing right there. You can also go to their website, volklawoffices.com, and get in touch with David and his team there. David, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
Pleasure to have you here. Thank you again for joining us on bybrevard.com TV. My name's Andrew Gall. I'm your host, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us.